Hello, my name is Tobias Wolf. I am product manager and I am responsible for our IO-Link Masters. I would like to present today the IO-Link Master family, the new family performance line. You can see here on the Fairboard, it is in 4-port version and in an 8-port version. It's available for Profinet and also for Ethernet IP. But first I would like to ask you, why is it so important for us, for the IFM and also for our customers, to connect sensors to an IO-Link Master? You can see on the slide that the IO-Link Master is in between the sensors and also the PLC from the customer and also the IT world. The customer can also connect our sensors to a digital input card or to an analog input card. But why is it so important to connect it to an IO-Link Master? Let's have a look to this kind of flow meter here. New flow meter SD connected with one cable to the IO-Link Master. Of course, we transmit the flow. Additionally, we can transmit the temperature, the pressure, the totalizer, switch points, and also diagnostic information, for example. And we can do it, that's the benefit, only with one cable, with a 3-core cable. When we compare it with an 4 up to 20 milliamps and we would like to transmit all the data, then we need 5 analog output cards here on this flow meter, and we need 5 cables connected to 5 analog input cards. Costs a lot, very expensive. It's very attractive to use this sensor via IO-Link to the IO-Link Master. Let's have a look to the additional sensor, the new vibration sensor you can see here. The new vibration sensor is connected with one cable to an IO-Link Master. We do not have to buy the expensive evaluation unit, and the customer knows directly in his PLC if something is wrong with the motor or not. Very, very attractive to connect our sensors to an IO-Link Master. Performance line. You can see on the Fairboard that the performance line has something to do with current, because we have the black cable here, that's a power in connector, and we have also a power out connector, and it goes to the next IO-Link Master. So you can do the daisy chain with the 24 voltage. So when we have a look on the slide, we see the different families we have at the moment in our product range. You can see on the left hand side the standard line module made for sensors. You cannot do the daisy chain. On the right hand side you can see the data line version with a special IoT port, and in the middle you have the power line and the performance line. And in the future the performance line, or now the performance line, will replace the power line. We do not need the power line anymore. We would like to focus on the performance line, make it simple for our customers. This block is made to handle big currents and to do the daisy chain. Have a look at the list price, 390 euro, German list price for the 8-port module, and 319 euro for the smaller version. When you compare the price with the Balov block, for example, then we are talking about 650 euro list price from a Balov IO-Link Master. And we have big benefits if compare this block with our competitors. What is the target market of the family here? Why did we produce this kind of blocks here? Mainly we produce this kind of blocks for the automotive industry, because you can see on the slide there's a group, the AIDA group, for some companies like Audi, BMW, for example, and they would like to have a standard for in field block, and block in the field, and especially for the power connector, this one here. Because have a look, at the moment we have different power connectors on the market. The company Phoenix, you can see on the slide, they have an M12 T-code connector. Then we have the company Balov, for example, that's a mini connector. It's a different connector. And the company Lumberg, for example, offers an L-code connector. And the AIDA group said we would like to have a standard, and now we have the standard. It's written in the Profinet specification, and every Profinet device in the field, an I/O-Link master, a digital input module, digital output module, whatever, has to have an L-code connector. And that's the reason we developed this kind of family here. We are the first company who offers this kind of blocks. And that means also the I/O-Link masters and the devices. For example, the new multi-port module we will offer on the next fair will get an L-code connector. So that means it is a standard, it's very good. That means we have to offer also the different cables. You can see on the slide, we offer the different cables, the jumper cables between two I/O-Link masters, the cable from the cabinet, and we offer also the variable connectors here for this block here as well. It is a standard, but we have also additional features. We support 2 times 16 amps with the L-code connection. When you compare it with the mini connector from Balov, it supports 2.9 amp, 2 times 9 amp. Now we have 2 times 16 amps. And we have 5 pins. That means we have an additional pin here for the functional earth. And it's not necessary to connect here an additional earth cable here on this kind of connector. 2 times 16 amps means we have to handle big currents. That means we have a bigger cable. We have 5 times 2.5 square millimeter inside to reduce the voltage drop at the end. Let's come to some four big benefits we have in our blocks here. The first benefit is we have focus on B ports. B ports are mainly made for actuators. Also, the 4-port version has only 4 B ports. Very attractive because you can see here the valve island from the company Festo or Aventix is connected with 1 cable to a B port. It's very simple, the wiring, and very cost attractive. Because when you compare the valve island with a valve island and a Profinet device integrated, that is very, very expensive, and the wiring is a little bit more difficult. So very attractive for Festo and also for our customers. That is something we see more and more, that companies develop I/O-Link actuators. And we would like to focus on this market as well. Additional, we can connect also standard outputs like the relay. It's a digital output, and we can support 2 amps for this kind of relay or to the valve. That was also not possible with the standard line or with the data line. Another big benefit is the current protection for each port. That means I will do a short circuit on this port here. I will do a short circuit between pin 1 and pin 3, for example. And you can see here, LED is flashing red. Something is wrong, there's a short circuit, but the other port is working. Port number 1 is working. The flow meter we will get in the PLC, and in the PLC we get the diagnostic information. Something is wrong with this I/O-Link master and with port number 4. For some customers it's really a must to know this, because diagnostic is very, very important for some customers and very helpful. When you compare it with the power line and standard line, and you do a short circuit here, all ports are black. The last point is also, we have a lot of B ports, and it is also possible to connect a sensor. We can see here, so the SD sensor is connected with a cable with 4 cores to an I/O-Link master B port. So B ports are mainly made for actuators, that's right. And normally you have to use a 3-core cable. That's written in the specification. That's also right. You have to do that. But now you can, the problem is, in the case, if you are using a 4-core cable, then you have here from the IoT master 2 amps, and the SD sensors has on pin 2 an analog output, for example. And then you have a short circuit. And sometimes you can destroy, for example, the sensor. In our case, you can switch off the pin 2, and also you can connect a sensor to a B port. That will be possible, and you will not destroy the sensor. Very important. Let's come to the AIDA device software. AIDA device software, you can connect to our masters, you can configure the sensors, you can check the input data, for example. You know that already, but I would like to show you one parameter that's new. You can see here, I select port number 1, and you will find a new parameter from the IoT master, port current limit pin 2. And the default setting is 200 milliamps, 2 amps, but you can type in 300, for example. That means for each port you can set the maximum current. You can do it for this. You can say 300 milliamps are enough for the sensor, and here for this port I need 2 amps because a big relay is connected. And then you have a very good calculation, because it's very important. The maximum current here from the input is 2 times 60 amps, and you have to look what is the maximum current for the sensors and for the actuators. Additionally, I click here on AIDA device on the cockpit, and normally we get only the process data from the sensor, for example. We can have a look to the flow meter. We will get the flow and the temperature, for example. We can have a look here. And additionally, here we are. Here we get the flow, the totalizer. You know that already. But I would like to show you that also the IoT master sends process data. That is the first time. So you can see here we get the temperature, internal temperature from the IoT master. And that is more important, we get a current for each port. That's the current for port number 1, for example. And we get the voltage. So that means we can transmit the current, we can measure the current for each port, and we can transmit it to the PLC. But I think it's more important for our IT guys. Think about energy monitoring. We can send this kind of information to SAP, to the IT world, and we can have a look. And it's very, very attractive. You can measure the current from this big relay here, and you know in 1 or 2 years, you know, okay, now I need a little bit more current, and I have to look, maybe I have to change to replace the relay. Something is wrong. That is something you can do, and is a unique selling point. The other competitors do not support this kind of features. They do not have the energy monitoring, and they do not have that you can set up the maximum current per each port. At the end, I would like to show you, or I would like to give you a rough overview about some big Profinet features we have already in our IoT master. 5 key points, only a rough overview. The first thing is S2 functionality. We support S2. That means we can connect our IoT master to a high redundancy Siemens PLC. Second point is tool change. There's a standardized tool change implemented when you would like to change the IO-Link device. Configuration is run. It's not necessary to stop the PLC if you would like to change something in the hardware config from Siemens. Point number 4, data storage. For some customers, it's important that they can read the data storage from the I/O link master and can save it on the PLC. And now it's possible with only one command to get the data and to write the data into the I/O link master. The last point is there is a special mode for digital input and digital output sensors, because this block is also attractive for a lot of customers, and they do not connect I/O link sensors. They connect just digital inputs and outputs because it's flexible. For this use case, we implement a small data mapping in the PLC where you can handle the data very, very simple. All these special features I described very, very quickly, you will find in our startup package. And I would like to show you the startup package is very helpful for you and for our customers. You can type in the article number from the performance line module. You can go on downloads and you will find the firmware, the GSTML file, and also the starter package you can see here. And inside the starter package there's a small quick setup guide. How can you do a connection to the Siemens PLC, to PCS7, to KUKA, Robota, Fanuc and Mitsubishi as well. And there's a special folder. I will open the folder and there's a special folder inside. I will open as Siemens tier, and there's a special folder here for the performance line, and I will open this quick setup guide for our customers. And here you can see with screenshots from the Siemens world, how can you use the features, the Profinet features, and how can you handle it inside the Siemens PLC. That is something for the programmer, for our customers, because they would like to test, for example, S2 redundancy. And here's the description how it works, and it's very, very helpful. It's a very good tool also for our sales guy to say, customer, have a look at the startup package, everything is prepared for you. Okay, at the end, I would like to say that the performance line is really made for big currents, for actuators, not only for I/O link actuators. And it's not only made for the automotive industry. Very, very important. You can use this family for every customer who would like to use the daisy chain here from the power and who would like to handle big currents. It's very important. It's not a module only for the automotive industry, for everybody. I would like to thank you very much for your attention, and if you have questions you can contact our support team or you can contact me directly. Thank you very much.